Look what just arrived. Actually, they arrived a couple of days ago, but this is my first day back to filming. Since I've had them, also I just chugged a smoothie and it's like 20 degrees outside, so my mouth is frozen and I sound like I'm drunk. So as soon as it thaws, things will probably come back to, you know, whatever semblance of normal we have as a baseline anyway. But this is not deja vu. We've already talked about the other Lisa Eldridge palettes that she was kind enough to send to me, but these are the ones that I bought. And it is Myth and Vega. And I have not put them on my eyeballs yet. I'm actually not wearing any makeup at all right now. So we're gonna just do a little makeup playtime, mainly centered around these because they are the most exciting thing that's happened to me in a long time besides getting actually personally contacted by Lisa Eldridge herself. It still hasn't worn off. But anyway, yeah, let's go and jump in. So part of my face did end up peeling off, and then this has yet to peel off, but I'm going to zoom through using my Chanel Sublimage I don't have the breath support or the delicacy to speak French. I'm gonna zoom through that real quick. There we have some complexion, and I am trying to account for how beautiful of a day it is outside, but also I need to be able to see, so it's not particularly bright in this room. I'm hoping that the lighting works out. And I'm not sure that powdering is something that's going to need to happen today because there's like zero fallout on these eyeshadows and my skin is thirsty. I think that I'm just gonna go right in on the eyeshadows, and then I wanna use the Hindash pigments again. I wanna use his color fluids again because it was just such a pleasurable experience. It was so concise and satisfying, and I just enjoyed it so much. Okay, so I'm gonna start by swatching these. So each of these has, it appears, 4 mattes, and there are different formulas of mattes in the Lisa Eldridge formulas, but they are matte in appearance, and 2 textured shadows. So there we have Myth Vega. If you know me, you can see why I would buy both. And it's not because I am so obsessed that I can't imagine only having one of them. It's because there are shades in here that just swing a little too wide for me. Mainly this purple right here and this gray blue right here. The rest, I can sink my teeth into, but we have to make some choices, right? We have to make some decisions so that it doesn't end up looking like mud. And truth be told, I really just want to start by focusing on the satins. Like, that's really what I want this look to do. Before, it was about a review. You know, the first impressions video was about a review. This is about getting what I had my sights set on and my hopes set on from buying these palettes with my own money. I'm going to start really with a combo of this one right here from Myth and this one right here from Vega. And it's gonna give us, hopefully, this really lovely kind of mucky mauve to taupe vibe. So if this is your first video of mine that you're watching on the Lisa Eldridge shadows, the formula is amazing because it really doesn't have fallout. It's super putty-esque. It has this amazing gel to powder texture. You pull it out of the palette with your finger or a brush. It picks up beautifully, but it has this incredible grip to it that's something like the House Labs bronzer meets the Makeup by Mario matte formula or even the shimmer formula in like the Foreplay Everyday palette, not in the new Ethereal Eyes palette. So this is really already giving Art Mom, is it not? Yeah, you know, Myth is, it's all a lot more purple maybe than I thought I was bargaining for, because this is purpler on me than I was expecting. Myth, the whole idea of it is that at a certain point in history, long ago, a new pigment basically was discovered so that people were able to make textiles and all sorts of things, right? Cosmetics, whatever, in this new shade of this like rich violet. That's why it's called Myth, and that's also why it all kind of focuses on that rich purple. Vega has 2 of these beautiful satins in it, and we're gonna go with this one right here and just layer them like this. And again, if you're new to this little like mini series on my channel, the thing I'm gonna be trying to do is ultimately arriving at my ideal 6 pan in hopes that at some point she might enable us to create custom palettes from scratch instead of having to order the pre-made ones and then kind of fill in the gap. That you might be able to know exactly what I would design from scratch. That is beautiful. That's like a very like nickel color that we ended up with by layering those two shades. And the names of those shades are Faded Amethyst and Moon Swirl. You know what? In some palettes, you might think that a matte is going to be boring, but these are the exact opposite. They are so unboring. They're just such a pleasure. So I'm going in with Turbulence, which is the shade right here. See, Vega really has it going on for me. Now that I'm seeing both, it's almost like I should have just gotten Vega and maybe honestly Sorcery in hindsight, but that's why we do reviews, right? Seeing Myth and putting it on my skin in person, I am realizing that like it all probably actually swings a little too wide purple, like a little too blue. For me. Like I like purple as the ability to counterbalance my naturally a little bit more golden undertones. But when it just becomes this very like local color purple, it's not actually like the world's greatest color on me. Because my skin does have, it's pretty see-through, so it does have some visible veins and stuff, and I feel like I have to work pretty hard then to make it so that it doesn't just draw that to the eye. It's all a dance. This is giving art, Mom. And in the best way, I love it. The things I feared about Vega are these like blue colors. Like that's what's so hard for me about this. This is this like steel blue, and this is like if someone, you know, deepened that same shade even more. It's still like a steel blue. Ooh, that's scary. That's so scary. And then this one is just like straight up black, I think. Is that Nocturama Velvet? Okay. I'm like in over my head way more than I expected to be with these colors. I thought that I was going to navigate these in like a really intuitive way. So yeah, I'm gonna grab that Nocturama. I'm saying that right? Nocturama, yeah. And kind of build a crease here. I don't know. Black is hard. Black is hard. Black is hard for me to wear. It's not the worst. Okay, I'm looking, when you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my monitor to see what you see. Cause like my mirror is not necessarily always telling me the whole truth. So it's important for me to make sure that it's coming across. So the monitor is telling me that that's not the worst thing in the world. But I do want to make sure that I'm blending that with something that's a little more precise here, so. Go back in with that one, first brush that I used. By the way, this is the 211. I think this is new from BK. It's part of the Core expansion, and it's really great. It's like much fluffier. It doesn't pick up a ton of product, and it like disperses it really well. See, even if they're not the right colors, and they're great colors, but even if they're not exactly what I expected and like, you know, perfectly right inside my comfort zone, God, they blend well. It's just so nice to be able to take an entire variable out of the equation. You know, it's like if you're doing something that's outside your comfort zone, to be able to, you know, look at all of the things that could go wrong and just remove performance. Performance is not gonna go wrong. It's just going to perform. And then all I have really to deal with are like, you know, unexpected turnouts on the colors and things like that. But like, that it just makes things so much easier to be creative. I'm going to grab this one right here. This one's called Illusionism, and it's a top coat, so it doesn't have any pigment to it. It's just a glitter, like a shimmer. I'm gonna use that up here. I do feel like if I don't use these like tealy shades, then this video won't be worthwhile. Being totally honest, like I have to, the same way that those greens in Sorcery changed my life, the last one. I think that like I'm probably, or I hope I'm going to have, you know, some kind of revelation there, but I'm gonna go with French Gray here and work that up here. So sorry if this is repeating myself for people who are here all the time, but the reason that I want to make sure that I address this kind of no man's land between my crease and my brow bone is because when you look at an eye look like this on me, you can see the whole thing, but if I look ahead, you kind of lose a lot of it. I don't have hooded eyes, but I have very deep set eyes. So it's important to me to make sure that I take this like literally almost all the way up to the brow bone. It's just going to make it look like, you know, my eyes exist. I haven't done a look in colors like this. I don't know if I've ever done anything like this on my channel. This is so classic. This looks like something that my mother would have had. And I mean that in a good way. It's just, I don't deal with kind of like taupey grays that often, but it's something that my mother always had in her collections. So I like that a lot. It has this like very specific nostalgia about it. Okay, so as promised, we're going to dip into, I need to find the right brush to do it, but we're going to dip into that teal color. For better or worse, we're on this ride together. Strap in. Okay, I have something smaller here. So this is the A502 from BK. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this deep teal. Once again, should have trusted Lisa. Should have trusted her. Look at that. Wow. Okay, now my brain is just churning, strategizing on like how I'm gonna do eyeliner and stuff with this. I think I'm gonna have to go for black because all of this is so cool toned. Brown might kind of glow a little bit red. You know, these are the color theory things that we have to take into account. Isn't that wild that that's the deep teal that I'm using? It goes on and it looks like this one. So that's actually awesome because that leaves me more room to play with that slightly lighter one. Oh my gosh, Lisa! She knows, man, doesn't she? Look at that. I think that another big strength of these formulas is that like as you work in layers, you don't lose the luster of the first thing you put down. Do you see how like that luster is still there even though I'm kind of working around it? Normally, I'd be used to having to kind of apply it again to finish it out because, you know, it's pretty normal that like an errant brush stroke is going to knock the top layer off of something shimmery, but like they wear so beautifully and they stay on so well. Well, isn't that just lovely? Take a little bit more of my French gray on this side. There. Just blend. Yeah, and I think that, you know, the next intuitive thing to do would be to take smoke and mirrors and just blend that into what's already there. Good grief. Man, that's pretty. Shockingly so. These are colors I did not think I could wear. I really thought they were going to be the shades that I avoided in the palette. And once again, I have been proven wrong in all the best ways by Miss Lisa Eldridge. Okay, gonna go underneath here. Need to figure out how, there we go. Gonna use one of these. And I'm very, very excited about those, I'm honestly very excited about this entire palette at the moment. So I'm going to take first Smoke and Mirrors, work that. I'm gonna kind of mirror what I've done on top with the mattes first, kind of work French gray under like that. Gosh. When you're so emboldened by a formula that you're just like, yep, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna shove it underneath my eye with absolutely no worry that it's gonna fall out. Like that is luxury, okay? That is a luxury of life, if you think about it. It's a luxury I didn't even know was possible. And then I'm gonna take something fluffy, that guy again, and let's see. you know, I haven't used that lighter shade yet, so I think I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna use, but I need to do that in a second. I'm getting a little carried away. Moon Swirl, the original one that I used here. I'm gonna use that underneath and just get a really pretty, like, blown out shape. Wow. Did I think that I was gonna be able to wear this on brown eyes? Absolutely not. And I do think that they're kind of glowing, but at least they're glowing kind of golden, not red. At least as far as I can tell. So yeah, the only other one that I haven't used in here is Supernova, and it's that luminous one, and it's just a really pretty kind of top coat. And I'm gonna use that like inner corner. I don't want to cover up what I've got going. I really like that color, but I did leave that space on my inner corner for it. All right, yeah, you know what? If it had just been these two that I had bought, I think that I would have told you, like, just skip Myth, because Vega is just, it's really, really special. But that's only if you're complected like me. Like, if you can't wear a blue purple, you know? Okay. I'm gonna use Carve from Hindash here. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of the Make Beauty foundation, like I did in the actual review video. And that's gonna make an ideal contour for me, like so. Oh, and look at how it goes with that color. The way that French Gray still pulled a little bit more taupe on me than gray. Makes me feel, again, the word is emboldened, to really just like push the limits. Oh my God. The way that this behaves when you mix it with a complexion product is just so seamless and gorgeous. Two of my favorite creators on YouTube, two of my favorite creators of beauty products in one face of makeup. Makes sense. I need to like back away from my light. It is making me look a little bit ghostly. I promise it's gonna come together. But like, even the way that that kind of goes blushy because it's mixed with my complexion product and because it's not, you know, it's not gray. I think Hannah would probably enjoy this. Just the ability to mix it with her complexion product in order to get an effective, like, blush toned contour. She would just have a lot more control over it, you know? All right, liner. I think I'm gonna use the Milk liner that they sent me. So this is the Infinity Longwear eyeliner. I have no idea if this is good, but it's black, and that's really what matters right now. This is a stiff pencil. I don't know if I'm a fan. Oh, it spreads beautifully though. It really looks like an eyeshadow. On some brows, get some warmth back into this because everything's looking quite cool at the moment. Decide on like bronzer and blush and stuff. I think that it's gonna be the Make Beauty bronzer today just because I want to play it safe. This is a very unfamiliar color story to me as it's coming together, and so I want to make sure that I am just not taking any unnecessary risk. Yeah, this is just a bronzer that never lays down too much product. Because the last thing I want to do right now is make everything look as pronounced as my eyes do. But I'm trying to envision what color blush I want. I kind of want something really muted. Maybe it's this. No, that will make me look dead. That's Rosy Beige from Gucci. That will, do you see that? Do you see how it will make me look like I have dead? I have dead. I have dead. So maybe it's something very much more awake than that. Yeah, I kind of think that like we have to run with this. So this is my very well loved Dior Rosy Glow. keeping this kind of on the outer portion of my cheeks. I'm not going for like the full cherub cheek thing because this whole thing is really playing with cool and warm, mostly cool, and it's resulting in something that looks very snatched. Last thing I want to do is like round my face out. Tippy top of the nose, top of the forehead, tip of the chin, just to make sure nothing looks distracting. Okay, I loved the way that Maximus mascara looked in my Bare Minerals video. There's just something about this brush that makes me feel really powerful. So I'm gonna use this today because it's the black one that I have on hand, but also I just freaking love the effect. It's so buildable. This should have been the mascara I pulled out when Hannah told me to find my gunkiest mascara. Is that what she said? This is the one. Man, look at my eyelids. They look huge. All right, let's do some brow mousse. Maybe even some more mascara once this dries. This is like one of the most intoxicating mascaras. Look at that. Reminds me of the Beauty Pie one a lot. They're huge. All right, I pulled 3 different lip colors that I'm considering here. So I'm gonna swatch them real quick. Top there is Fizz from Victoria Beckham, the Posh Gloss. The second one there is a YSL. It's one of the Rouge Volupte glossy balmy lipsticks, and this is in the shade 9. And I haven't gotten to use that one on camera yet. And then the one that really occurred to me that I was actually looking for and found those on the way is the Love Lust Gloss Luxe from Tom Ford, because it's just so right in line with this. But like now that I'm looking at them, I'm kind of thinking it's gonna be Fizz. And then I'm going to do my clear brow gel. Actually not a huge fan of this. From Milk, it really didn't have much hold. What? Stop calling me telemarketer in Old Town, Florida. What? I'm gonna use it anyway, just cause it's sitting right in front of me. Not the worst. It just kind of falls, you know, it needs more help. We should have had more hold. Oh, y'all know I think I need more blush. It's just not enough. This is a hairstyle that literally only works in person. Like, it looks so strange on camera. Once again, we have kind of stumbled into a banger, have we not? It's the colors all together. It's all so unusual and it works. It's just about like not going into default mode or going into, what would you say, like cruise control, right? Autopilot, whatever. And letting your mind enjoy each step of putting the look together and enjoying the unexpected of it and just keeping an open mind. And it's just a little unusual, you know? These are not the colors that I typically wear, but I feel like it's grounded in great formulas and maybe shapes that I do typically wear. Like the eyeshadow shape is still really flattering, even though these are not colors that I even have in my collection because they're just not something that I would knowingly gravitate toward. It was kind of, again, I stumbled into this, but I feel so pretty, so pretty. Like, I can't believe how much this surprised me, how much Vega and Myth surprised me, and in 2 completely different ways, right? And we will do something where I kind of take this, do you see my eyebrows falling? That's the Milk, the Kush, like how hard is it? So anyway, we're gonna do an entire video, don't worry, where, you know, I dive in on the purples and we try to make them work the way that I made the grays work today. My nose is just ergada. And again, it will be another exercise in considering and enjoying the process of like each baby step and going, huh, okay, now how do I solve for this? How do I solve for that? And like, those are my favorite kinds of looks because again, I've just surprised myself with how it comes together. But truth be told, by the time we got done with it, Myth didn't really enter into the conversation today. We swatched it, we talked about it, but like, this is what's on my eyes right now. I love it so much. I love it so much in a way that like I am so excited to have like unlocked a whole new corridor in my makeup repertoire of being like, oh, I can wear gray now. And I always talk about gray being something that's scary for me because, you know, a black eyeliner, for example, if I feel like reinforce it with brown a lot of times, like on the edges and stuff, you can end up with that kind of translucent gray, bad blending that can look just really unflattering, at least on my skin. You know, it's just the same thing I referred to it before, but the Alexandra Anelli video where she was talking about how to do a pure matte black smoky eye without looking like a panda, and she uses a bronzer to blend at the edges so that you don't end up with that weird skippy translucent gray. And somehow these shades are fine-tuned enough and the formula performs. It's so flawless in its performance that it made me confident and increasingly confident as I went using colors on my eyes that I never use. Grays and teal blue. Like steel teal blue. What? And it worked. Lisa? This one should be called sorcery because that's what we just committed on my eyes was some that was a hawk, with some sorcery, okay? Not really, I understand why the other one's called sorcery, but like, yeah, I'm super glad I got this. And honestly, I'm hoping that I have a similar experience when I just deep dive on Myth. I hope that I'm like genuinely pleasantly surprised by my ability to wear colors that I said I probably wouldn't be able to wear. So look forward to that. I know I am. There's nothing, and I say this all the time, but there's nothing more exciting than being surprised by the way that an item of makeup can make you think differently about makeup, you know, about what makeup can be and about what makeup can do. And I don't think, and I said this in my last Lisa Eldridge video, I don't think that Lisa is really going to toot her own horn to that extent. She's not going to say, these are different in a way that's going to surprise you about the way that you think about makeup and what makeup can do. So I'll say it. The formulas are going to make it so that you feel comfortable using colors you wouldn't necessarily have felt comfortable using before, and all of the compositions of the color stories are probably going to pleasantly surprise you in a way that makes you think differently about makeup and what you can wear. So what do we think, y'all? What should we do next? Is it just a deep dive on Myth because it's the other one that I actually paid my money for? I think that that'll be the next kind of makeup playtime that we do, is trying to tackle purple, like in its truest sense. We're going to limit me as much as I can to, you know, just being in that Myth palette because I do think it's got a lot to offer. I just only have one face, so yeah, I'm loving being able to devote, you know, a mini series to this, and I hope y'all are too. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a thumbs up. I will put my last Lisa Eldridge eyeshadow palette video right here for y'all, and if you've already seen that, I have some other videos that I've chosen for you over here, so make sure that you subscribe before you leave. You already made it to the end of the video. You might as well. I love y'all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.